Well, obviously the ability to add someone who's a consistent goal scorer, someone whose age fits in with a lot of our core, someone that is a competitor, someone who has a proven track record. We've said since the end of the year that we were looking for someone who could play in our top six, and he's playing in our top six.
Pierre, have you talked at all with his handlers about a possible extension, seeing as he's going into his last year?
Well, obviously we have him. We can control him for 2 years. Obviously, we would like to extend him at some point in time, but sometimes there's got to be, you got to make sure the fit is all right. And he was pretty excited. He talked to both myself and DJ earlier, and he was really excited. He knows we got a really good young group of players, and he's played he's played 6 years in the league, 5 years in the league. Sorry if I'm off here, and I think right now there was a bit of shock for him, but once July 13 passes, we can start talking with his representative, and we'll do that.
How different do you think your power play is going to look?
It's going to be good.
Pierre, you only gave up picks to get him to, and you're a young team that's trying to build and take that next step. Was that important to not give up anything on the current roster?
Yes, and I can tell you, Kyle kept on pushing on some multiple prospects, and for us it was important that we've drafted those players. We started developing them. Obviously, I think it's a credit to our scouting staff because it wasn't just 1, 2, or 3 names. There were multiple names that he was throwing around, and for us, even though our scouts are disappointed today that they don't get a chance to make a selection, I think all of them are very happy about this trade.
Did you circle back to that after the Murray trade fell through?
Mark, we're always prepared for every scenario. So both Kyle and I were at the same restaurant last night. Came over, sat at our table, introduced him to the family. We were able to step outside, and I gave him possible scenarios that could happen, maybe not happen. And obviously, if it was going to be a later first-round pick, we probably had to give another piece or something else. But we were prepared for every scenario. You can't go into these situations and not have. You got to be able to juggle a few things, and we were able to do that. Sorry? Gibby's. Go ahead.
What does this move say about kind of transitioning the organization from kind of rebuilding to that next step? And do you anticipate more moves like this?
If I can quote someone from my staff today who's been with us for a few years, it's way more fun adding than deleting. So I think if you look at that perspective, for us, we're transitioning. For the Ottawa reporters obviously know that, I said at the end of the season that we want to play meaningful games till the end of the year. I think that's one step closer to doing that. Obviously, the rebuild has been going on. We feel we're in the next phase now. And for us, it's just adding a player of this caliber. You have to pay a certain price. We felt it was a fair deal. I can tell you, Kyle Davidson was great to deal with. A lot of guys you deal with, you're not sure you're ever going to get to a deal. We got to a deal, and kudos to him. And obviously, they're getting. I think they're trying to do something that maybe we were trying to do a few years ago. Now we're trying to do something that a lot of teams are trying to do, and that's win a lot of hockey games.
Was that meeting you had with him last night the first time you had really laid the groundwork for something, or was there Can you give us a sense of how long that maybe this had been?
I'd have to go check in my notes, and I don't want to mislead you here, but it's been going on for a while. The last time was just introducing him to the family. So
You don't make this trade unless you have some type of idea who he could be playing with. I know this is probably better for DJ.
yeah.
But do you? I mean,
Well, DJ told me, and I don't get involved in coaching. I let him decide who he puts on the ice. We all work together, our management group, but DJ indicated that he, the one thing about Alex, you do your homework. He can play left wing or right wing. He's as good on either wing. There's some players that can only play one wing, and DJ talked about playing with Stützle. But again, if coaches, they change 2 scrimmages and then they change. So all we know is we've got a really talented player. He was really excited about coming to Ottawa. Both DJ and myself talked to him. And that's the exciting part for us. It's fun adding. It's unfortunate for our scouts. And if I can give you what I think is a good quote, one of the amateur scouts said to me, in our contract, Pierre, that playoff bonus part, we'd like to see that maybe sometime. So they were okay with making this trade.
Pierre, to that end about with DJ, I mean, he coached against DeBrincat when he was with Oshawa, and DeBrincat was in the area, and I think they actually.
Yes, DJ reminds us consistently that he beat McDavid and DeBrincat at the Memorial Cup, DJ. One thing about DJ, he says he can score goals. That was coming from DJ, but DJ felt that his hockey sense was really off the charts, and he could make plays in tight areas. So obviously, on that point, we will take the coach's input. But the pro scouts felt that this was really a move to make. Obviously, the amateur scouts, our two new assistant general managers, it was unanimous for us. There wasn't, when we started talking about in details about it over the last few days, there wasn't one person that said, "Nah, don't want you to make this." It was pretty unanimous amongst our group that this is the right thing to do in the direction that we're going right now.
Do you anticipate doing anything else here in the next couple of days? Maybe probably not to that magnitude, but are you done trading as it stands right now?
We're always looking to improve the Ottawa Senators.
Are you looking to move back in the first round as well?
Oh, I think tonight's going to be tough. I don't want to. We're always going to look for that, but obviously you're going to have to give up something to move back in the first round. We're going to look at it, but with our pick being pick 64, we would probably look at moving more up in the second round. That would probably be more realistic than moving in the first round.
Would you do you still feel you'd like to add, pardon Ed, Permi at a defenseman and maybe another forward? Is that kind of in your line of thinking right now?
We're going to analyze this one, Bruce, but obviously for us, we still feel that we need to add pieces to be the team that we desire to be, whether it's going to be through free agency, through trades. That's something we'll look at, but also internally, we feel that we have some pieces in Belleville that could step in. So I don't think our roster is going to look exactly the way it finished, and this was just one piece that we looked at.
You talked a little bit about it at the end of the year, how you're in your exit meetings with Brady and Thomas. They talked about wanting to be a playoff team. What kind of message does this send to them?
I had a little group chat with both of them, and I think Brady's in Greece right now, and Thomas was going to announce our first pick. And I just told them, we've added a pretty good player, and I got a thumbs up and a heart. So.
Go ahead in French if you need, Mark.
C'était-tu votre cible numéro 1 dans la saison 1 de DeBrincat?
Oui, DeBrincat était notre cible numéro 1 sans aucun doute. Pour nous, c'est un joueur qui apporte du caractère, l'habilité de compter, qui veut gagner. Donc pour nous, c'était vraiment notre cible numéro 1, sans aucun doute là-dessus.
C'était un gars qui jouait avec Patrick Kane, qui peut-être l'aider à avoir les statistiques qu'il avait. Est-ce que tu es pas mal confiant qu'il va pouvoir faire la même chose avec
tout ça, il est pas mal bon. Si c'est Josh Norris, aussi, il est pas mal bon. On a des bons joueurs. On a peut-être pas un joueur de la trempe de Patrick Kane, mais on est pas mal proche, je pense, avec certains de nos joueurs.
Puis le joueur lui-même, sa réaction à l'échange?
Très content. Moi, j'y ai parlé, puis j'ai pas parlé longtemps. Je l'ai souhaité bienvenue à l'organisation. Il est très heureux. Il dit, je sais que vous êtes une équipe qui est en train de remonter. Qui est une équipe en croissance. Puis il était vraiment heureux de pouvoir venir jouer à Ottawa. Il sait qu'on a des bons jeunes joueurs. Il semblait savoir que notre équipe est une équipe qui peut aspirer à des bonnes choses.
Surpris qu'il soit un gars comme ça sur le marché, son âge?
Oui, mais c'est comme des fois quand nous avons échangé certains joueurs. Il y a certains gens, je pense, qui étaient peut-être surpris qu'ils étaient sur le marché, mais c'est où est-ce que certaines équipes sont. Puis nous, on est à une étape qu'on veut ajouter, surtout des joueurs de la qualité de trempe de Alex.
Puis est-ce que son agent donner une indication?
Non, je n'ai pas encore même parlé à l'agent. Premièrement, c'est fini par le temps qu'on parle. Je parle à Alex, que je vais me changer, que je fais une couple d'autres appels. J'ai pas eu la chance. Mais ça on ne peut pas rien faire légalement. On peut parler, mais on ne peut pas faire de contrat jusqu'au 13 juillet. Donc, je me dis pourquoi commencer les pourparlers tout de suite quand on a plusieurs autres choses à faire, puis on peut le faire éventuellement. Mais c'est un agent qu'on connaît bien. Donc, c'est le même agent que Connor Brown, je ne me trompe pas, et autres qu'on a eu. Donc, on a une bonne relation avec, puis c'est quelqu'un que je respecte beaucoup. on va essayer. Je ne suis pas un gars qui fait des promesses puis qui ne garde pas, mais c'est sûr qu'on va essayer de le signer un contrat par la suite. On va commencer à parler cet été pour voir si on peut faire quelque chose. Mais comme j'ai dit en anglais, c'est que des fois, on veut voir c'est quoi le fit avec nous, si c'est avec qui il va jouer, s'il aime jouer avec certains joueurs ou d'autres. Donc, pour nous, c'est sûr qu'on va essayer de pouvoir le signer à une extension de contrat, plus que le 1 an qu'on peut le contrôler.